The fires on the garden route are under control at last. The devastating blaze caused a swathe of destruction in Knysna, Plettenberg Bay and many of the surrounding areas. The death toll due to the fires has climbed to 7 following the death of a woman in hospital. She was the mother of a 4-year-old girl who died in the fires last week. More than 300 firefighters are still on the ground making sure that flare-ups are contained. Aerial support is assisting to waterbomb inaccessible areas. Humanitarian relief is also being supplied to thousands of displaced residents. More favourable weather conditions have been assisting firefighting efforts. Well, firefighters are still monitoring hotspots around Knysna at this hour as the focus shifts to assessing damages and repairs to municipal infrastructure. Electricity supply to surrounding areas has been affected due to damaged overhead cables. Helicopters are also being used to waterbomb flare-ups, and authorities are saying that there's no threat to lives or property at this stage since the fires have been contained. Operations are expected to resume at the Knysna Provincial Hospital on Wednesday after it was evacuated as a safety precaution. Well, let's get more now from Knysna. Our reporter Vanessa Poonah is there. She's been covering things for us throughout today. Vanessa, very good afternoon to you. So things look like they are under control there.
Natasha, yes, good afternoon to you. I think things are indeed under control here in Knysna. We know that the firefighters and all the staff have been working tirelessly since Wednesday to bring this mammoth fire under control, and it was indeed a mammoth task for them to do so. We do know that at this point in time, the focus for today is really to cut off a fire on the Sedgefield side, and then also we've heard from the fire chief that there are also flare-ups in the Blaricum Heights area. But now joining me to talk a bit more about what the focus is for today is Fire Chief Clinton Manuel. Mr. Manuel, good afternoon to you. Just in terms of your focus for today, you said there are 2 areas that you will be focusing on. Can you give us an update on the situation on the ground?
Afternoon, Vanessa. My primary objective today is to bring the fires at the Blaricum Heights and the area just further down from that, just above one of our informal settlements, to bring that completely under control. The wind is in our favour to do that, and the objective is to extinguish those fires so that there's no more threat to properties on that side. My secondary objective is on the Sedgefield side, where that fire was spreading down to Sedgefield. The wind is in our favour once again to achieve that, and I've got enough ground crews in that area to actually also tie down that fire. So the chances, should the wind come up and the fire spreading further to Sedgefield, then we minimise that chances as well.
So at this point, I understand that there are no threats to lives or property at this stage. You mentioned earlier on that you still have 5 aircraft available, as well as 2 fixed-wing aircraft, just in the event that they are needed, but they're grounded at this point in time because you don't need them currently with active firefighting efforts.
Vanessa, my decision was not to put the aircraft up and rather to focus on ground crews to extinguish the fire. The aircraft, they do very well in terms of slowing down the spread of the fire, but they will not extinguish the fire. The issue is now to get ground crews in there, put water on overall the area, and to extinguish this fire completely. I have made a decision as well to release the 2 fixed-wing bombers to assist at the fire in the Eastern Cape. They've got a huge need there as well, but I'm keeping the helicopters in the Knysna area for now.
You say that weather conditions are favourable today. We haven't seen much wind at all, actually, going forward for the rest of the week, because I do know that you are still going to be monitoring for quite some time yet. Will the weather play along? And is there a threat in the event that the weather does come up, or the wind does come up again, as we've seen them over the past few days, that it may just exacerbate matters?
I think that's why I set my 2 primary objectives, because should the wind come up, then we're going to lose that flank of the fire in the Blaricum Heights area, and I really want to avoid that. I've got a window period probably up until Wednesday, Thursday, where the wind is in our favour, and by then I really want to tie this fire down completely. After that, we can focus on mop up, damping down fires that's in the middle, because that can come even if the wind is blowing. The idea is for now to just extinguish those flanks and make sure that should the wind come up, that this fire will not spread anywhere.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clinton Manuel, the fire chief here in Knysna, giving us an update with regards to the situation on the ground at present. A mammoth task has gone into keeping this fire from spreading any further. At this stage, still the focus is on a fire in Sedgefield as well as one just above Blaricum Heights and the informal settlement there, as you've heard Mr. Manuel telling us. So still no rest really for the firefighters who've worked extremely long hours here in Knysna. They're still keeping a close eye and monitoring just in the event that where the conditions change and the wind does come up again. But at this point in time, it will be monitoring hotspots and flare-ups for the remainder of today, going into tomorrow and the rest of the week as well.
Vanessa, thank you so much. We'll leave it there and I'm sure we'll get more updates from you. Vanessa Poonah live from Knysna.